we yesterday looked at how to convert a galvanometer to measure current as a volt ammeter. Now today we are going to convert galvanometer into a voltmeter, right? And we know that the galvanometer has a internal resistance, and it can withstand full scale deflection current, that is in the milliampere range. And we took an example and used 100 milliamps full scale deflection and 20 ohm internal resistance. We continue to use that example. So if you write an equation for this, Vg equal Ig into Rg, right? So if you apply the full scale deflection for Ig, because when full scale deflection for Ig is present, that is the full scale deflection for Vg also. So Vg max, that is the full scale for FSD, Vg FSD equal Ig FSD into Rg, right? So what we had to do now, the galvanometer comes with a scale reading of 0 to 100 milliamps. Now we have to rescale it to read the voltage value. So if we take example 100 milliamps FSD and 20 ohm, the example we took, then the VFSD is 100 into 10 to the power 3 minus 3 into 20, so that is 2 volts, right? That is a full scale deflection of this galvanometer in voltage scale. So it can measure, if it is the full scale deflection is 2 volts, we can measure the range is 0 to 2 volts. Now we have to rescale the galvanometer to read from 0 to 2 volts now, right? So you can take it down. Right. Now we will do an example on how to measure voltages using this galvanometer, right? So keep in mind, now we are going to use the same example, galvanometer with a current full scale deflection of 100 milliamps, 20 ohm internal resistance, and full scale deflection of 2 volts in the voltage range, right? So So this is a circuit where we are going to measure voltage. So assume these points as A, B, C, and you are asked to measure the voltage between B and C, that is VBC, this one. Now we know that in a ammeter, right? In an ammeter, when you connect the ammeter into the circuit, it will introduce a resistance, right? That resistance changes the circuit parameters or circuit current, and therefore it introduces a error, right? So we calculated error percentage when a meter is connected. So for that, first we calculated the current without the meter. Now here also we will before connecting the voltmeter, we will check. Now we know that the voltmeter what we have, the galvanometer, it can measure 0 to 2 volts only, and this comes from 100 milliamps full scale deflection and 220 ohm resistance, right? So we calculated this range. Now what happens is, we know that this galvanometer will be damaged if the full scale deflection exceeds 100 milliamps. Our current exceeds 100 milliamps, right? Full scale deflection. So that corresponds to 0 to 2 volts. 2 volts is the maximum voltage you can measure. So that means if you increase the voltage, if you measure or use this galvanometer to measure voltages for more than 2 volts, it will get damaged, because if you apply more than 2 volts, the current will be more than 100 milliamps, and therefore the meter will be damaged, right? So we have to first make sure that the voltage we are measuring is less than 2 volts, right? So we will first calculate what is the voltage between VBC before connecting the voltmeter. So before connecting voltmeter, to calculate the voltage there are two methods. Now this 4 volts is applied directly across these two resistors, right? So you can either use potential divider method, because no other current is flowing anywhere, right? Voltage is directly applied here, 4 volts. How do you use potential divider method? What is VBC? Now this is the voltage. We have two resistors. We have to measure the voltage across VBC, right? So the VBC equal the total voltage is 4 volts. Potentiometer method, where we have to apply voltage, we have to take that resistance first, right? So if you are applying, measuring the calculating the voltage between VBC, the resistance between VBC comes first, so it is 20 ohm, divided by the total resistance, that is 40 ohm, right, into the total voltage 4 volts. Now what is VBC now? This is 2 volts. This is method 1. Or what we can do is, we can use Ohm's law directly. So we can find I, right? So what is I now? This is method 1. The method 2 is I is applied voltage is 4 volts divided by 40 ohm. 4 divided by 40, that is 0.1 ampere. Now VBC is, I is flowing here, VBC is I into, now after connecting voltmeter, the circuit condition is changed now, because we are introducing another 20 ohm in parallel with the existing 20 ohm. Now to calculate, now the current is changed now. This current is no more I, it's I dash, right? So I becomes I dash now, right? So we will first calculate the equivalent resistance between these two, because equivalent resistance between these two 20 ohm resistors are connected in parallel. So the equivalent resistance is 10 ohm. So if we redraw the circuit, right, R equivalent, that is 10 ohm, and this is 20 ohm, and we are asked to find the voltage between B and C. So this is 4 volts. Now if you calculate I dash now, I dash is 4 volts divided by 30 ohm. This comes to 1.333 volts. sorry, comes to sorry, keep it 4 by 30. Then we can calculate VBC, that is I dash into 20 ohm, 10 ohm, because the 10 ohm is the equivalent resistance, equal R equivalent, or we put R equivalent. So I dash is 4 divided by 30 into R equivalent is 10, right? So this comes to 1.333 volts. Now we know we expected the reading to be 2 volts, because the measured voltage is 2 volts, right? We expected it to be 2 volts, but it has become 1.33 volts, right? That is because of the circuit loading introduced by the voltmeter, the parallel connected voltmeter, right? So we have to calculate the error now, right? So error, we wanted to have 2 volts, but what we got is 1.333. Therefore the percentage error is write the equation, .667 is for 2 volts, and for 100 volts, 100%, it comes to about 33.35%. So 33% error is a very high error, right? So the idea here is, now because we are connecting a voltmeter here in parallel, our circuit is loaded, right? So because the circuit is loaded, we are getting an error. So to reduce the error, the voltmeter should be of what? Because now we are introducing the voltmeter in parallel to the circuit, the voltage where we are measuring voltage, right? So when your voltmeter resistance is very low, right, this will take a current through this path, right? So we have to avoid or reduce that current, because it is because of this current the circuit is getting loaded, right? So if we use a very high resistance voltmeter, the current through the voltmeter will be less, right? So the influence on the circuit will be less, right? So the ideally a voltmeter should be of infinite resistance. Now we said in the ammeter case, to reduce the error, because ammeter is introducing a resistance in series, so to reduce the error, we said that ideally the ammeter should be zero resistance, but zero resistance ammeter is not there practically. So here in the voltmeter case, the voltmeter should be of infinite resistance ideally, but we can't find infinite resistance voltmeter in the case of analog voltmeters, but in digital voltmeter it's possible, but we won't be doing that now. But you have to know that if we can use electronic voltmeters, it is possible to have infinite resistance, right? But in the case of analog or galvanometer based voltmeters, there will be finite resistance, right? Infinite resistance is not possible. But anyway, we can see what is the influence of this resistance of the voltmeter on the circuit. Now we said in the ammeter case, if the resistance of the ammeter is very much smaller than comparably to the load resistor, right, we get less error, right? The smaller the error, resistance of the ammeter, we get less error, right? In this case, in voltmeter, if the voltmeter resistance is very large, we can reduce the error, right? And we will see with the example, we will see how it works out. So I will take few cases and use the same voltmeter. Now we know that the error percentage is 33% here, and we will see when the circuit condition changes what happens, right? So case A, here the resistance are 2 ohm, 2 ohm, A, B, C, and we connect voltmeter between B and C. Now that is where we have to measure the voltage, right? So we will calculate the estimated current here, I. So I is this is before connecting. So before connecting, I is 4 divided by 4 ohm, 2 ohm plus 2 ohm, 4 ohm, so that is 1 ampere, and VBC, I into 2 ohm, that is 2 volts. So we know that is VBC is 2 volts. We can measure, we can use this galvanometer to measure voltage between B and C. So that is confirmed. Now after connecting, say if it is I dash, now first of all we have to find the equivalent resistance. Now this is 20 ohm and this is 2 ohm, right? So what is the equivalent resistance? R equivalent 20 and 2 ohm are in parallel, right? Then you have to use it 20 into 2 into 20 divided by 2 plus 20, right? This I think you know, huh? So this is 40 divided by 22. So the R equivalent is 1.82 ohm. Okay. Now we know the R equivalent between B and C. Then we know the current. So we can, sorry, we have to find the current now. So what is the I dash now? 4 divided by 2 ohm plus 1.822 ohm, right? 2 plus 1.822, so this come to 1.05 amperes. Now you can see the current has increased from 1 ampere to 1.05 because there is a parallel path. So the total resistance has come down, right? So because of the current has increased. Okay. Now we can find the voltmeter reading. So what is the VBC now? VBC is the voltage that is measured by voltmeter. So VBC is I dash into R equivalent. I dash is 1.05 into R equivalent 1.82. So this comes to 1.91 volts. So the percentage error as before, we wanted to get 2 volts, but what we got is 1.91. This error comes for 2 volts. The voltage to be measured is 2 volts. So the error is 2 minus 1.91. Therefore for 100. So this comes to 4.5%. So you can see earlier the circuit resistance was 20 ohm, voltmeter resistance was 20 ohm. So they were comparable. Right? Here, compared to 2 ohm circuit resistance, the voltmeter resistance is 20 ohm, it's 10 times high. Right? So the influence of voltmeter is less. That is why in the earlier case we got 33% error. Now we are getting 4.5% error here. Right? So we will check that for another case. Case B, the same circuit, but we will change the circuit resistor values. A, B, C. Now this time this is 200 ohm. This is 200 ohm. This is 4 volts as before. Okay. Now for this circuit also, as we did it before, so before connecting the voltmeter, if you measure the current, calculate the current, I is 4 divided by 200 ohm plus 200 ohm. So that comes to 0.01 ampere, right? So VBC is I into R resistance between B and C, that is 200, that is again 2 volts. So these 2 volts we can measure using this galvanometer, right? So that is what we have to, every time we have to check whether we can measure it safely with the given galvanometer, right? So after connecting voltmeter, now we have to, so if we redraw it again, 200 ohm, we have 200 ohm here, voltmeter is giving 20 ohm, right? So we have to find the R equivalent. R equivalent is 200 into 20 divided by 200 plus 20, so that comes to 18.18 ohm. You know that when there are two resistors in parallel, the equivalent resistance is less than the lowest resistance. So here the lowest resistance 20 ohm, so we are getting 18.18 ohm, right? So with R equivalent we can find I dash. I dash is so after connecting the voltmeter, the error is 83.5%. 83.5% is a very huge error. That is because the voltmeter resistance is very much smaller than the circuit resistance, right? So this is not a favorable condition, because we always wanted the voltmeter resistance to be larger than, right, the circuit resistance. Now it here in this case is smaller. Take it down.